Cohesion, hose coin. Now, see that seems more playful. Now, if you had a sign up there that said Cohesion Seminar 1 o'clock, and someone changed it to Hose Coin Seminar 1:45, and that wouldn't be nearly as pranky. That would have like taken away a gift that you wanted to give. All humor is negative. Okay. Knock knock. Interrupting cow. Moo. Okay, maybe that knock knock doesn't work with a webcam, but you know, it's not negative. I think sometimes negative is an easy route. I was watching a Margaret Cho beautiful DVD on Netflix, which is great. But there was times when she got really negative and judgmental in certain things, and she was kind of harping on certain people and attacking them as part of her humor. And I was noticing, like, oh wow, I was so enjoying the part where she was uplifting herself and like and kind of showering light. And now that she's kind of being like snarky, it wasn't nearly as fun for me. And there's also a lot of, I think, of humor that is pointing out the absurdity in negative things. You know, a lot of humor is mocking or being negative towards, say, a bigot. That's a common type of humor, is to mock an attitude, and in doing so, trying to point out the silliness of it. See, humor, black guys go like this, okay? And see, white guys, they do like this. Alright, I'm just kidding, but that's too much humor is like that. Black guys ride planes like this. Sorry. AJ says, I couldn't go all the way to Burning Man just to be negative. You know, that is something that I've tried to be very clear with, like, my campmates and people that are joining in the sacred space of my camp, is like, look, this is a very important week for me, and I have a zero tolerance on bringing in your issues into this space. So if you, for whatever reason, are getting lit up with your insecurities or your frustrations, or you're feeling, taken advantage, whatever your issues are, you're welcome to express those in positive, open ways if you're looking for a solution. But if you're just going to stew in frustration or be angry at people, take it elsewhere. Because I'm not willing to give 1 hour of my week in the desert to fuel BS. It's just not, it'd be like going to someone's wedding, and having a scene or complaining about, you see it in movies sometimes, and you're like, what incredibly insensitive thing to do to someone's special day. And I kind of feel like that at Burning Man, like, what an incredibly insensitive thing to do to my special week. Don't bring that here. In my home too, Creeping Jenny. Sacred Heart? Do you mean Pink Heart, or is there another camp called Sacred Heart? What time is it? Oh my gosh, it's 2 o'clock. Yes, Pink Heart. Well, we are and that reminds me, we need to start a kind of newsletter mailing list We actually have a Pink Heart group on AnyBeat if you're there, so we can start some planning, as well as we need to start one on Facebook. We had a Facebook private group, and we decided that it's just going to be for a year-by-year thing, and so because the point from my perspective of having a private group is so that people can it's mandatory for everyone at Pink Heart to share an introduction that is very personal and kind of this is what I stand for, not what I do, this is who I am, and so we'd have a private group so people can do that. We have a public group where people can follow along with our activities and things, but so we need to create a new one for 2012 because it doesn't work to follow along because to just keep it open because there's people shared things that were camping together last year that are not ready to share that with somebody who joins anew, if that makes any sense. I allowed myself to get lit up about some stuff out at my first burn and learn how to avoid the net next time, how to direct your energy differently, so just questioning. Awesome. Excited to bring that lesson to the next burn. That's the grand gift of Burning Man for me is that it is an extreme experience with all sorts of extreme circumstances and obstacles, and as you get through those, you learn, one, that you're going to get through them every time. You're going to find a way. You're going to figure things out, things that seem like they were going to be the end of the world that were not. And so if you can process those things, then every year you have a little bit more confidence. You get a little bit more stress, a little less stress, and you start to trust and have more faith in yourself and everything that things will work out. And so it just takes a practice of reminding, what we were talking about earlier, just like, okay, what's wrong? Nothing's wrong. A bunch of people in our camp, are broken down on the side of the road. They are the ones that have all of the fuel and all of the nuts and bolts for our dome. This is not the way we planned it. So, what does this adventure look like now? Maybe we don't have a dome. Maybe we make a sculpture out of all of these poles that we don't know how to connect. Maybe we pool our resources and get a box truck for them to pick them up on the side of the road. But we're in the adventure! This year, the Hugmobile didn't make it to Burning Man. Actually, last year didn't either. But I've had enough obstacles to now know that Burning Man has taught me that if things are not going the way you thought they were supposed to go, that doesn't mean they're not going exactly the way that they are supposed to go. And if you fight that, you're fighting reality and you're causing suffering. See how it all comes full circle?